I'm Anna.
I'm Ben.
We're AutoSave. Welcome to our
Today we're
channel.
watching Demon Slayer Season 4, Episode 6. New Hashira, the strongest, apparently.
So I'm not necessarily going to believe that that's who we're talking about. We could be talking about Inosuke.
Oh, yeah, Inosuke is going to be the strongest Hashira.
Because, like, last episode, we were with Mitsuri, and the title of the episode was, like, I even ate demons. And I was like, well, Mitsuri does have a healthy appetite, so maybe that's what this title's about. But it was about Genya. So that leads me to believe that this title is not about a Hashira, and it is about Inosuke.
We can all be wrong sometimes. You ready?
Yes.
Sweet.
最も重要なのは体の中心、足腰である。強靭な足腰で体を安定させることは、正確な攻撃と崩れぬ防御へとつながる。まず滝に打たれる修行をしてもらい、丸太3本を担ぐ修行。
Okay.
最後にこの岩を一丁先まで押して運ぶ修行。
Again with a boulder, you know?
下から火で炙るのは危険なため、なしとする。
Oh, that was on the docket, but we got rid of it.
川につけなし。
I didn't see Inosuke.
Yeah. How fast will we fly through this training? Because last episode, we went through like 3.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably at the same speed. Maybe.
It's maybe Tengen's, like a whole episode.
Maybe. I mean, if he truly is the strongest, then it might take a little longer.
Oh, yeah. You're right. No, that was about Inosuke.
We haven't really seen much of Kanao.
I know. When are we going to see her?
Maybe she's the strongest.
Yes, that's what it is. When am I going to see Lady Tamayo and Shinobu?
Or Shinagazawa and Gyu.
Right. So many things left to see.
Here we go.
They should just change the title to Inosuke. Oh, so then the waterfalls like... Murata!
Oh my god. To capture the heat from the sun. Oh, remember that from like season 1? Has he just passed out?
Yeah.
This is a throwback.
A signal that you're still alive and conscious.
You have to be saying it out loud, Tanjiro. This is the hardest any training's been for Tanjiro.
2 hours.
Oh.
あいつすげえよ。玉ジャリジャリ親父。
岩柱の姫島さんな。骨も食べるのか、猪之助。
おい、お前食べねえのか？
すごい。俺の知ってる人の中で一番魚をきれいに食べるのは猪之助だな。
俺は何でも一番山の王だからな。間違いねえあいつ。鬼殺隊最強だ。
おお、やっぱりそうか。あざがもう出てたりするのかな。
出ててもおかしくね
え。内容が異次元すぎる。あと炭治郎の焼いた魚うま。
Oh, Tanjiro grilled them?
あのおっさんはきっと自分もあんな岩一丁も動かせねえよ。デュイビって楽しんでんだよ。
いやいや、姫島さんはあれよりもまだ大きい岩を押してるそうだから。お前はことをすぐ信じる。
You just believe whatever you hear.
いやいや、嘘ついてるかついてないかくらいわかるだろ。
ナムアミダ仏。
うわあ、すごいな、姫島さん。
I know Sis is gonna run and go try to move it right now.
巨人と小人じゃ生まれついてのヘド取りがあんなよ。わかるだろ。
丸太担いで岩をしてくるわ。
Yeah.
バカ、俺の居場所ないわ。
まあまあ
よっしゃ
まあまあ
At least Zenitsu can recognize that he is the
I feel like
pessimist.
I'm traveled back in time to season 1 this episode. Training completed.
So now we're onto the logs and then the boulder. You can tell by his face that is heavy. Good job.
いよいよ
We can't cut it this time.
Wow.
Nice transition.
Oh no.
Oh.
4. It is the Biwa lady being number 4.
60%. So we're locating all of them, figuring out where they are.
泣き目お前は私が思った以上に成長した素晴らしい
Nakime?
承知しました
Oh.
Oh, they're
I'm
they're
honest.
splitting up.
I'm glad that Nezuko isn't here. I feel like she would have already been found by now.
屋敷ももうすぐ見つかる
And I was worried we would get to them before Tanjiro
Yeah.
gets done with his training.
Oh.
Wow.
おはようございます
あ、かまど俺たちは山を降りるわとても
Wow.
ついていけねえおここで脱落するのは心苦しいがでも頼んだぞかまど
はい俺からも頼みます脱隊全員の力で鬼物寺無惨の首を取りましょう
わかった後ろは任せておけ
I like
階段
telling them that like support roles are also really freaking important.
I like that it motivates him more too.
俺のやるべき
Everybody has a
Do
role.
what I have to do.
かなり体を酷使したから塩分は多めにしてあります
Hell yeah.
どうぞ
It wasn't all of them.
今の柱たちがほとんど継ぐ子いない理由
何ですか
俺もなんとなく分かったわしんどすぎてみんな逃げちゃうんだろうそれとかあの金髪みたいにさ柱と
Oh
打
no.
ちのめされて心折れたりさ
こういうのを当然のようにこな
Wait
して
until you
きて
see
る
him
の
in
か
an actual battle.
俺炭焼き小屋の息子なんで料理は火加減焼きおにぎりも美味しいんです
やるな炭治郎
Oh, look at Inosuke.
どんどん食べてくださいね
I feel like if Tanjiro ever gets his own house, Inosuke would like live in the backyard
Yeah.
of his house.
わかるお袋の味だな
That makes a lot of sense. It reminds me of Tanjiro's soul.
なんだかちょっと懐かしいな
Oh.
That's good motivation.
I want to see more of the Stone Hashira. I want to talk with him.
Are we about to say training complete, Crow?
今日もダメだったもう6日目だ
Damn.
6 days.
鬼だっていつまでおとなしくしてるかわからないぞ早くしないと
お前額の技濃くなってないか謹慎してたんだよ
Damn.
姫島さんに叱られてさ兄貴と接触するなって言われてたのにあんなことになって悪かったな巻き込んでかばってくれてありがとうよ
I love Genya so much.
それは毎日顔見てりゃ変化がわからんだろう
So
鏡
true,
持って
so
ねえの
true.
か後で貸してやるよ
He needs a mirror for his hair.
死ね
お前じゃな玄也は動かせた
Genya should know some secrets.
え
Yeah.
お前ら反復動作をやってる
Repetitive motion.
僕見て盗まねえとダメだぞ
As a
Swipe
Tsuguko, right?
あらかじめ決めておいた動作をするんだ俺の場合は 念仏とない
Interesting.
姫島さんもやってる。
そうそうナムナム言ってるだろ
ナム
ってそんなこと言っても聞くようなやつじゃないか
He's a menace.
Now I just imagine that Himejima's been watching Tanjiro this whole time from behind a
反
tree.
復動作。玄也が言ったことを思い出して。怒りや痛みの記憶を思い出す。それにより心拍と体温を上昇させて。
Okay.
Oh!
We moved it slightly.
早くご飯にしてくれよお前が作ってくれたの食べたらもう
Oh
他
my
のやつ
god.
のは食べられないよ
すぐ行きます。
よっおふくろおふくろ
Mom.
俺も手伝うよ
ありがとう。
They both had a lot of siblings.
炭治郎お前にとって感情が強く高ぶる時ってどんな時なんだ
それは。
なんかわかんないけど悲しいことを思い出させちゃったかお前ならきっとできるよ
ありがとう。
Something about the two of them and what both of their families went through.
Yeah, and what Tanjiro said last episode about how if Genya hadn't been there, they wouldn't have taken down an upper rank.
いつでも一瞬で集中を極限まで高められる。俺の反復動作はまず大切な人の顔を思い浮かべること。煉獄さんの言葉を思い出すこと。心を燃やせ。
Oh my god.
Heat the
Oh my god.
あざが濃く出た状態がこれでずっと続けられるようになるといいな。
コンパチロ
あいつ日にち持たねえぞ。
俺も負けてらんね
Yeah, he's getting fired up now.
They were all there for Rengoku.
初めのうちはできなかったけど。
With the sun coming up as he pushes it. Oh.
反復動作から全力を出す。それを何度も
Oh, and it's like that scene with
何度も何度も
Rengoku.
繰り返しているうち。
Oh.
反復動作から全力。この工程を。マジ。
Does he have to push it to a certain spot?
あの男は何を企んでいるお前はどんな姿をしている産屋敷
You're really right about the sun coming up in the same way it did on Rengoku's death. Screaming at Akaza, calling him a coward. We always fight you in the night on your terms.
Yeah, and all three being there, Inosuke, Zenitsu, and Tanjiro,
Yeah.
for the fact that that is what's fueling Tanjiro in order to push the boulder. It's like the perfect setting. Muzan thinks of Ubashiyashiki as his, like, opponent.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting. He doesn't know what his opponent looks like, and he doesn't know the state at which his opponent's health is in. Keeping that a guarded secret is pretty smart, I would say.
今回は姫島さんの紹介です。ここで大正こそこそ噂話。姫島さんはめちゃくちゃ涙もろいです。
な猫か
The cat's
また泣いてる。
Okay, that was Demon Slayer Season 4, Episode 6. It is wild to hear Ubuyushiki other than Master Kaguya for me, because it's like so... Oh, Master Kaguya, yeah. But obviously it's from Muzan, so it makes a lot more sense from his perspective.
Lady Tamayo called him that as well.
Yeah. I think that, like, you're right with, like, how smart it is to keep Master Kaguya's condition under wraps. I wonder if upon seeing what condition he truly is in, it would be like, all right, let's go now. Let's attack now, you know?
Right. It honestly, I think that it works on two fronts, both for your camp and kind of against the enemy. For your camp, the morale would plummet if you knew that your, like, literal, like, leader was in such, like, condition.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he didn't even present himself to the Hashira within this season. And obviously it could just be because his condition was so bad he couldn't get out of bed, which is like I believe what they said.
Yeah.
But the Hashira could have come into his room and seen him, you know. I think it was, we need to just tell you as the kind of upper ranks within the Demon Slayer Corps, his condition is not good. But to see him, I feel like that's something different. To hear that someone's condition is not good or is worsening, it's different than like seeing what we've seen, what he looks like covered in bandages and just laying there. But also just not letting all of the other Demon Slayers know of that, because it would definitely hurt morale. And then on the enemy side, like you said, would it kind of create more of an urgent situation in terms of timing?
It would, it's not necessarily a sense of urgency, but it's a sense of like, oh, we have nothing to worry about. Like that false preconception. Like, there's nothing to worry about. Like, there's no strength that I can't fend off.
Right, because you would think in a battle that if you can best the leader, then the rest of the pawns will fall. And Muzan really is the ultimate person to go up against, demon to go up against out of the demons. Like, he's going to be a hard fight.
Yeah.
And you need to have that feeling that on your side, the leader is also going to be the last to fall, if not the hardest to fall.
Man, this episode felt so similar to an episode from season 1, mainly from like the transitions that we get of, you know, Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu like strolling across the screen. That was so nostalgic for me. It felt
I love
good.
the little more caricature-ish drawings of their faces and stuff. The comedy in Demon Slayer always makes me super happy.
Highlight of the episode for me though is definitely just the way that they brought up Rengoku and what it was for. I never once in the show feel like they don't bring up fallen characters or the past without ample weight to that memory, and it's something I really appreciate. Like, being able to utilize not only Rengoku's hilt, but his dying words to be able to motivate yourself to be able to use repetitive motion here is absolutely phenomenal to me.
Set your heart ablaze.
Yeah.
And then obviously we already talked about it a little bit in terms of how we loved that not only was the sun coming up, but that Inosuke and Zenitsu were also there when Tanjiro was finally putting kind of what he learned in this episode into reality. It
literally mirrors them standing there watching Tanjiro throw his sword, screaming at Akaza while the sun's coming up. Like, Akaza's like, you idiot, what are you talking about? The sun's coming up. That's why I'm running away.
Something that made me really happy that you kind of brought up in reaction, like during the episode, was the fact that not only is Tanjiro motivating to the other Demon Slayers in terms of like being in a support role is important, and like doing that and recognizing that that is maybe the better position for you to be in is okay.
Yeah.
No one at the end of the day is going to be mad at you. Just go figure out what role's right for you and do that one 110%.
Yeah.
Whatever that role is that's right for you, you got to give it your all. And you had said right after that this is also motivating to Tanjiro to be told, you know, he is on this, I guess, a pedestal, if you will, of you are someone that has potential here to be the person that can take Muzan's head. And it's motivating to him, I think, because he feels like he's getting support. Like, he knows that there are going to be a lot of guys that he's met during this training that are going to be there to support him in his endeavors. And he had a line that says that he needs to get to a place. I don't know what the first part is. I only wrote down like the second half, which was do what I have to do.
Yeah.
And he has a sense of like, this is important. He knows. I like that he feels capable.
Like, he's aware of his position within the entire Demon Slayer
and he's
Corps,
not
and that
scared
he is.
of it.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes when you have a character that is being put into a position where they have responsibility and that they are incredibly important to the story, they might feel like a little recoil from that. Like, oh, I'm not ready to be in that position. I'm not ready for that responsibility. Tanjiro, I love his positive outlook and attitude about it. He's like, if other people believe in me, I gotta believe in me, and I can take their support and run with it.
We got a name for the Biwa lady.
Yeah, Nakime.
And she is number 4.
Yes.
That was confirmation I felt like we needed.
And we saw the face. I think when we were first talking about her a couple episodes ago, I was like, I wonder if she has like empty eye sockets underneath the hair because all the little eyeballs. No, she just has one giant cyclops eye.
Yeah. Do you think that we have been very aware of demons that Tanjiro's defeated, like their backstory, right? How they became demons, like what their past was like. Do you think we're going to get that tenfold with the upper ranks that we have left?
I hope so. Mainly because I feel like the very little personality we got from Akaza from his fight with Rengoku has made me as a viewer incredibly compelled toward that character, even though he's a demon. Like, I am incredibly interested in him and to find out more about his past.
I can't believe how much, like, I think Akaza for me is a perfect example of, there's this fucked up notion nowadays that, like, you can say that you love a character and people equate that to being like, yes, I'm justifying that character's actions and supporting what they do.
It's an endorsement.
No, I love Akaza as a character, even
too.
though that, like, obviously, fuck him for what he did to my favorite character in the series, Rengoku, you know? But that aside, he's such a fascinating character, and his score is so unique. And his
score, his score,
and his esoteric art, like everything is phenomenal with him. I just expect and need to see him becoming a demon.
I feel like I'm compelled to hear more about him, and I do really like him as a character. Kind of in the same way, like, I really like Gyutaru and Daki.
Yeah.
I really liked how much we got of their past, and I was incredibly, like, endeared to them. And then the send-off that was given to those characters, even though they were villains and did horrible things, like, they were one of my favorite parts of Demon Slayer thus far.
Yeah, that's how we were introduced to Doma. Man.
So what we learn here is, at least in Muzan's head, through Nakime, we have discovered 60% of the Demon Slayer core. How do we know it's 60%? I'm just gonna go with the fact that he's like passenger princess in a car right now on a road trip, and he has a like old-fashioned map out, and he's like, okay, we've looked at this location, we found everyone that we could find. We're gonna go to this like gridded it out, and it's like in this section of the grid we found everyone in this, and we're just going through the map like that.
Man,
does that make you worried in terms of timing of when things are gonna happen and where our players will be?
No. Everything that we've gotten episode after episode this season is reinforcing my idea that after the season we are going to have an all-out battle.
Like a movie battle? Mugen Train battle?
No, I would think seasonal battle, because I think that, okay, you haven't seen it, but like Dragon Ball Super, there was like a tournament, right? And it's like multiple fights going on at the same time. And with it, and that's what I'm expecting to have happen. And I feel like you can't have multiple fights going on in one movie.
Right. I think the only...
Is there movies coming out for Demon Slayer?
I don't know. But I feel like the only thing that informs for me that I don't know about any content after what we're currently getting is the fact that in the opening, I know it could just be a visual in terms of like what we're trying to build here in terms of training is the potential and capability that Tanjiro is the one that goes for Muzan's head and fights him. Because in the opening, we have, like, at the very end of the opening, it's Tanjiro and Muzan facing off.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just to show us, like, this is what we're ramping up to. This is what we're preparing for, is to get Tanjiro in a position where he can be what we need him to be. Or if that means, like, that is to actually come within this.
I don't think it is.
I don't
think it's
it
more
is, because
thematic.
I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. I think
that's a big deal.
Yeah. But I imagine, like, I don't think it's a movie, right? Like obviously, like, you could have something so amazing like Mugen Train as a movie, and then retell it seasonally like they did. But I feel as if like it would have to be longer than an hour and 30 minutes to 2 hours to be able to convey everything that would need to be done in a battle that I'm expecting it to be. Like within the nature of the show, it's not just sword fighting. It's like there's so much emotional weight that Demon Slayer is able to convey so well.
And pasts. Like, how could you give us pasts of demons prior, like lower ranks, but then when you get the upper ranks, they don't get the same, if not more, attention? Like, Akaza maybe having only one episode would probably be surprising to me.
Yeah.
I think that, like, time for each makes sense to me.
Yeah. I'm thinking I need, like, 500 minutes. I'm wondering, like, okay, if you had a 25 episode season, that could do it for me before we even start the war and then ending the war. As long as it was paced well. But I don't know.
I don't know what they're going to give us.
I am excited for it, and I'm more reinforced than ever that that's what it's going to be. I feel like after this and this much training, you don't like take a step backwards. You know what I mean?
How many can get marks? That's a question I have. Like, because I keep wondering who's going to be the next person that develops a mark. Because everyone's striving for that. They're hoping to be the one that gets one.
Do you think Himejima has already gotten his mark? That was touched on this episode.
Tanjiro speculates about it because of how strong that he's. You would think, I guess, in Tanjiro's point of view, well, if he's the strongest of the Demon Slayer Corps, then of course he would have just like easily figured out how to get it and awaken it. But I do wonder how many kind of marks there are to give out, or how many characters will actually have one.
I think that there's room for every Hashira at least to get one, if not, with Inosuke and Zenitsu and Tanjiro and Genya.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping like Ikanao, Inosuke, Zenitsu, Genya. I'm kind of hoping they all have a shot here at getting a mark. We see her
in the OP.
very quickly running past everyone. I think Genya and Zenitsu in particular. I think Inosuke's in that shot too, like running.
Yeah.
And she breezes by, but we're literally on the last training.
Yeah.
We pushed the boulder. So unless we're gonna go back and see like what she did during training, I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we're not seeing her during training.
I think that will probably get more Himejima just from the nature of the title of next episode that we got at the end of this episode. And that makes me very happy. Because
it disappeared from my mind. I don't even remember what it was.
I really, really wanted to get more of him. And it felt like this episode wasn't enough of him. And next episode is literally his name.
Okay, that makes me happy. If he is the strongest Hashira, then give me more. Give me more.
All right, that's all I have you.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we hope to see you next time.